if you feel like you're going through something, you feel like God is against you, you feel like, why is all this happening to me? See, one of my first prayers that I actually asked the Lord, I said, God, if you are real, see, I opened up my heart to the possibility that he could be real because I had an intellectual knowledge wanting to know if he was real. So when I opened up my heart at that moment, I said, God, if you are real, I do not believe that my circumstances would be like this if you say you love me, and I haven't done my part in searching for you and wanting to find you. So I'm going to try this. That's kind of how my first prayer went. So when you begin to ask yourself, is God against me? Nah, brother, that's when you need to flip the question over around. Just hit it with a little, flip it around and ask yourself, am I the one against God? You know what I'm saying? Am I the one against God? Because if God is all-knowing, all wisdom, omniscient, omnipresent, all those big words that God is above everything and he has a personal relationship with everybody, why do you think he would signal out just pick you up like a little claw machine, just pick you up and purposefully go after you to just annoy you, just to, what people say, I'm your strongest soldier, like, God, I'm not your strongest soldier, stop putting all these things on me. See, when people say that, what they're not even understanding is that God is not even the one putting them up against those challenges. They're the ones putting themselves up against those challenges. So let's jump right into it. When I say accept what God has given you, you will suffer. And there's no way around suffering. There's no way to backdoor suffering. There's no way to avoid it. And when you try to avoid suffering, you're going to make your life 10 times worse. The whole time you have problems piling up on you, you have relationship issues, you got job issues, you got stress management issues, all these different things that begin to pile on you and the worries of the world start to come over you. Why are you not facing that head on? You know what I'm saying? Why at that moment do you feel like it's almost time to just give up and hide and mellow away, just sit inside of a room and cave dwell? You know what I'm saying? Almost just like you're an animal, like you just want to hibernate and hide for a long time. See, that is a path that is going to lead you down to destruction. And there becomes an age limit and a gap when you have to actually look at yourself in the mirror and decide, have that conversation with yourself. See, John, there's two ways that you can go now. One, you can stand up and face everything that is in your way and make it move, or make it move. There's no other way around it. Because the second way, that not making the problem move, which any type of problem that is humanly possible, if we have that problem, we'll go deeper about that when God gives you problems. But if it's there for a reason. And the second path that you have to take is figure out my problems and fight it, or two, lay away and die. Yeah, when I say lay away and die, it actually means you are going to slowly digress. You're going to slowly deteriorate. Your entire existence after that is just going to be getting worse, getting worse, getting worse. Why is it that, would you ever want that to be you? You're 20, and you're 21, you're 22, you're 23, whatever age you are, your muscles are just going to keep getting weaker. Your mind is going to start to rot. Your soul is going to start to hurt because you're not going to want to be around people, because at some point you had a dream and you lost it. You gave up on it. You didn't give it your all. So you will suffer. There's going to be countless amount of seasons. Ecclesiastes 3:1. There's a season for everything. There's a season for prosperity. There's a season for hard work. They talk about it countless times in the Bible, in Proverbs, where it says, the man that works, the man that plants his seed, he's going to get something that grows out of it. But the lazy man, see, the sluggard, the man that doesn't want to get out of bed, his desires are going to get the best of him. His desires are going to lead him down the path of failure. So when I say that you will suffer, it means that there's no way around it. There's no way to avoid it. So all you have to do is just give it. Take heart. See, Jesus said, take heart. If he took on the world of everything, then that's when what we have to do is just look ourselves in the mirror. Tell ourselves, yeah, I'm suffering. But then you have to ask yourself these questions. Who defines good? Who defines justice? Who defines righteousness? And when you actually begin to use your intellectual mind over these things, and I don't want you to get this wrong idea that when you're suffering, when you're stressed, you have to use your mind to figure out every sort of problem. That is quite, frankly, the most opposite thing that you could do. And the reason why is because if you're stressed and you have things going on, chances are you're not going to outthink your way out of it. You know what I'm saying? If you got the ball, you're in dribble, you're dribbling, and God's spirit is standing in the paint, and he's up against you like this. God's spirit is up against you like this. Whole time you trying to back him down in the paint. You're never going to back down God in the paint. So if God has given you a situation, if God has given you something to figure out and handle, why not take on the attitude of why not me? You know what I'm saying? Why take on the attitude of, oh God, why me? Instead of just putting on that role of, okay, God, this is what you have for me. Let me accept it. Let me accept what you have for me, and I'm going to take it on, and I'm going to give it my dang best. See, that makes God proud. There's nothing that we could do to make God proud or make us earn our way into being in his kingdom. Because our best works is filthy rags. But see, only you know your consciousness, and you know how much you have left in the tank, right? So we'll use the gym for an example. I lift, let's say I got a 40-pound barbell. I'm curling them out, right? Those 40 pounds, if I give it my 100% all, and I've done my entire back workout, my biceps are sore. If I give that my entire all on those curls, and my last couple of reps are looking like that, those struggle reps where you're shaking, and you know you have 5 more in you, and you get to that 5, and you're like, wow, I got that 5. Guess what? I'm gonna do another 5. See, that's the type of mindset that we take in the gym. I'm gonna do another 5, and then when we get that 5, another 5, and we keep pushing until we get to that last point where the bar doesn't even move. And then we have a spotter, lift it up, get it up. We'll do the eccentric reps. See, I'm about to get down the whole gym path right here, but it's a great analogy for you to focus your mind on. If I was just that gym bro that said, I'm gonna do 10 reps, and I just rep out my 40-pound barbell like this, drop the weight, am I really getting any work in? Or how much more did I have in the tank? See, when we push ourselves to these limits, we begin to open doors that we didn't even know it was physically possible to overcome. We do this because it hurts, and we know we have much more left in the tank. We stop putting numbers on things. See, we got a rule in the gym. We do not start counting until it hurts. So we could do 6 reps, and that's too easy. But when that 7th rep hits, oh, that's when we yell out 1, 2, 3. So how much more are we leaving in the tank in life? You want to do more in life, you have to be willing to dig deep and bring that out of you. Let that energy flow out to provide to someone, to something for your purpose. And when we say lift, when we say get in the gym, it's not just words that we're speaking of get in the gym. It's not just go lift weights. It's an entire different mindset. See, it starts at here. When you get in the gym, that's when you begin to start pushing yourself to new limits. That's when you start to realize, dang, I have been leaving things in the tank. I have been leaving more than what I should have been doing out on the field. My dad used to tell me this when I used to play football. He was like, I'm not going to get it word for word, but he said, I do not care if you get 20 yards when you play receiver. I don't care if you get 20 yards, you catch the ball, you only get 20 yards, as long as you gave it your all. As long as you can, when you're done with the game, if you can know in your heart, in your mind, yo, I gave it everything I had. There was nothing more that I could have possibly done to squeeze out an extra yard. I couldn't have got 21, because I fought my hardest to get those 20 yards. But see, my dad said, if you got 100 yards and you didn't give it your all, you were just playing around, you weren't taking it serious, you left more in the tank, you were tired, you felt bad for yourself that day, that's a horrible mindset. And we need to include that mindset in our daily lives, because we are leaving too much in the tank for every possible thing that we do. And that's why we need to change, and we need to get out there, and we need to give it our all in everything, in every sort of aspect in life. So now, point number 3, got accepting attitude. Use your conscience. We didn't talk too deep about that. I'll go over it very briefly. When I say use your conscience, it's not necessarily following your heart, because your heart will lead you down the wrong path. But you have almost 2 voices. One of those voices is going to tell you, I want to endure in pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the flesh that wants to endure in pleasure, but weakness. And then you have another voice in your head that's telling you, man, John, you could have gone harder. Man, John, you could have gone up in weight. You could have done a couple more reps. You could have done a couple extra exercises. Those are the 2 voices that I hear in my head. One of them just, why am I doing this? Why am I curling this much weight? And the other one is saying, oh, I love this. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. And then when I cannot move, it says, you better push, you better get it out. See, when you hear those 2 voices, which one do you think is leading you down the better path? So it's not necessarily following your heart, because when you follow your heart, it will lead you down the wrong path, which is why you always have to constantly check in with God and see what He has for you. See what task He wants you to take on. But you also have to use your conscience. See, God gave you a conscience. If that is God's power that is clearly living inside of you, you're a human being that has these voices in your head that is telling you, yo, do this, I need you to do this. That's not God's voice. See, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, God told me to come talk to you because He has a word for you. Brother, that is not God. God's thoughts is not our thoughts. And that says that in the Word, which is why it's so crazy to me when we hear these type of things in the world that says, oh, God spoke to me and I need to tell everybody else. God told me to tell you that you need to repent, you need to do this, da-da-da-da. Whatever the case is, I do believe God can still talk to us. But that voice that you're hearing in your head is your consciousness. And God has given you that consciousness. So use that God-given power that He has given you, that He has granted you, to allow you to take you to the next level, whether that be physically, spiritually, mentally, whatever the case is, in your career. Write an extra page. Who cares if it sucks? Write an extra page and put it on that paper so you will accomplish your goals. Point number 4. Society and the world will push mediocrity. It is all spiritual. And when I tell you it's all spiritual, I mean no games, no jokes, nothing. It is all spiritual. You're sitting, I use the gym for an example. You see everybody sitting down on their phones, boop, 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 boop. They're texting, boop, 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 boop. They're changing their song, boop, boop. They can't find the right song. I work out with no music. When I work out with no music, that is a next level. I like to hear the voice in my head. I like to know, I like to hear my breathing. I like to hear my intensity of me being pushed. So the people in the gym, boop, 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 boop. Right, they'll text, they'll throw the phone down, they'll grab their dumbbells. You know, they'll chest press 8 reps. And then right when it starts getting hard for them, you'll see, I don't want to go all the way up. They'll drop it, and then they'll drop their dumbbells. See, the reason why I say this is all spiritual is because that energy that they're putting out into the world, you don't know what type of demons someone has. I used to give this example. See, the Bible talks about that. Take up the shield of faith because it's going to protect you when the evil ones start shooting their flaming arrows, right? So the devil is always looking for any type of possible crack he can slip into, he's going to take. So the reason why I use gym as an example is because it's such a easy way to elaborate on, right? So you'll see these people, boom, they don't want to get that extra rep. They don't want to they don't want to work hard, right? That energy will be pushed out into the world to a point where it's like, dang, do I want to break the society norms? Do I just want to go into my dog mode and just start repping out pull-ups and just because it's like he's keeping it on a basic level? But no, society is going to push that on you where they're going to tell you, hey man, don't overdo it. Don't do too much. Just be normal, be cool, be chill. Don't get too mad. Don't express yourself. Don't conform to that. That is the main thing that you need to run from, because the second that you start trying to be like, not even trying to be like them, because I know you're not even saying in your own mind that I want to be like these people, but yet you're letting their chains, their spirits hide you down and letting you belittle yourself. You need to completely just run from that and not even care, because they will push mediocrity on you. They'll say, oh, you've been working hard, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even just about the gym. It's about messages that are being pushed on Instagram, on social media, throughout the news, just distractions to keep you away from your purpose. I promise you, the minute you turn off all of that and you stop caring about what the next big thing is that they're pushing out, if they have control over everything, well, you don't ever think they're just going to release a story just to have you talk about it, or to have you on your phone to look at the next big thing and to text about it. Oh, you saw the Bills kicker miss the field goal. Who cares? Who cares? You know, if you're a fan of football, amen. Be a fan of football, but don't get lost up in the sauce in the world where you're on Instagram, on the gym, checking the comments about the Bills kicker. They're pushing hate in those comments for a reason, because hate is such a strong hate honestly is more addicting than love. But see, that's why Proverbs tells us that a gentle word will calm a soul down. It'll be soothing. And it also says to never save a man that's quick to anger, because if you do, you're gonna have to do it again and again and again and again. So these companies and these society, you know what I'm saying, the world as a whole, they're going to have patterns. They're going to have you locked on. They're going to try to lock you up in these chains. And the reason why I say try is because we are not going to get tied up in these chains. The second that you feel one of those chains start wrapping around you and you're like, oh, this feels nice, this feels hot. Not to say a chain feels nice, but at some point, everybody falls into it. Everybody falls into the entertainment. Everybody falls into the dopamine. Everybody falls into this quick pleasure that is being pushed. But you have to grab that chain off your foot and instantly throw it. Because if you let it get too far, it's gonna take you away. Stay away from what the world has to offer you. They have nothing to offer you. They have absolutely nothing to offer you. It may look glamorous. It may look beautiful for a second. But the moment you put your energy into it, they got you. They completely got you. So you need to stay away from it. Stay away from what they have to you, because what they have to offer you, because what God has to offer you is tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000 times better than what the world has to offer you. So, recap. Accept what God has for you with a grateful attitude, with a, oh yeah, God, all right, cool. You want me to go to war for you? You want me to stand on business for you? You want me to stop caring? You want me to go against the grain? 100 people are running at me. You want me to run towards them and go handle it? Hey, God, you brought me here, so what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run with them? I'm gonna turn around and hide? Nah, see, God, I'm going to run at them for you, and I know that if you are on my side, everything is going to be okay. See, where God guides, He provides. And God is never gonna take you to a place, drop you down, and just say, go based off your own strength. God is gonna give you His strength when you seek for it. Seek me with all your heart, and you will find